So Mitch McConnell, uh, Mitch McConnell's playing games. You know how Mitch McConnell plays games. He's politically tactful. He's just, tactical or whatever you want to call it. And he acquitted Trump just along with all the other Republicans. Only 7 of them voted to acquit him. And this is why I said impeachment was a failure. It was doomed to fail. It was dead on arrival. It was a waste of tax dollars. Nobody should have ever done impeachment. We should have just done the 14th Amendment, got it sections 3 and 5 or C, whatever the hell it is, gotten it over with, simple majority in both houses, and you're done. Well, it failed, as I told you, as everyone else has said. It was a bullshit thing, bullcrap. And but Mitch McConnell made a speech basically making the case for impeachment. And I'm gonna go over what's gone on since, but this was last Saturday or this past Saturday, and I'm just gonna play it for you. And I just want you to understand what Mitch McConnell is doing here. Because it's honestly quite hilarious just watching it all and noticing how crazy he is. Watch this.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it. The people who stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions of their president. The president did not act swiftly. He did not do his job. He didn't take steps so federal law could be faithfully executed and order restored. No. Instead, according to public reports, he watched television happily, as the chaos unfolded. He kept pressing his scheme to overturn the election. Now, even after it was clear to any reasonable observer that Vice President Pence was in serious danger, even as the mob, carrying Trump banners, was beating cops and breaching perimeters, the president sent a further tweet attacking his own vice president. Now, predictably and foreseeably under the circumstances, members of the mob seem to interpret this as a further inspiration to lawlessness and violence, not surprisingly. The Senate's decision today does not condone anything that happened on or before that terrible day. It simply shows that senators did what the former president failed to do. We put our constitutional duty first.
So why didn't you convict him, Mitch? Every argument you're making is that he should be convicted. What are you doing? So he's saying
there's just no question about it. None. The president made this happen.
That's literally what he sounds like. He literally is laying out the case there, which is he goes into, well, the mob came. They were doing this on orders of President Trump. They believed that they were doing something for him. They were putting his vice president in danger. Only mere seconds away. Had it not been for his security detail, Chuck Schumer and Mitt Romney. And they were carrying Trump banners, and they were breaching barriers, beating cops. I thought the right wing was the party of law and order. Apparently not. And he's taking down the right wing hacks argument like my dad. It's Antifa. It's people in Antifa. They were doing it. Well, according to not according to Mitch McConnell, not really. It was Trump supporters. And he's saying, oh, we did our constitutional duty here. No, you really didn't. No, you didn't. Oh, they held the trial. No. Constitution says you gotta vote up or down, and no, I just don't believe it. Now, sure, they could have. I could see that argument too. But he's literally making this argument that, yeah, Trump did it. Trump insurrected this. He's the reason our windows were broken. He's the reason we had people sheltering in place. He's the reason we had the cops in this Capitol beaten. He is the reason. He didn't do his job. He didn't make sure law enforcement could have been prepared. He didn't make sure law and order was taken into consideration. Nothing. And he was on the phone with Kevin McCarthy, advocating for more violence and exploding at him. And so you beg the question, well, why didn't he do anything? Why? I'll tell you why. Because Mitch McConnell was kind of putting out little balloon trials of,
I'm going to take it to the press, and I'm going to see if it's going to work, because I don't want to vote against the base. And I just need to see if more people are going to come with me and vote with me on impeaching the president.
That's literally what he sounds like. I'm sorry, but he does. And he's literally like, happily, Trump did this. Trump was loving it. Yeah, and you didn't do anything. But he was putting out little press releases, little pressers, and saying, is this going to work? Is it going to work? How many people are going to vote with me? And when he saw that most Republicans in the Senate didn't want to do anything about this and let Trump get away with it, well, he voted accordingly because he didn't want to upset the base. But then he makes this speech outing Trump and saying, no, it is his fault, creating this problem in MAGA. He's trying to make this argument, well, you can't really impeach a president when he's out of office. Okay, but the founding fathers didn't say that he had to be in office, number one. Number two, you, Mitch McConnell, held it up. He held it up so that it would go, so that the trial would land after he's the majority leader, when he became the minority leader. He did that. So, now, okay, he's trying to play both sides. You can't play both sides with the Trump supporters. You can't. You're going to lose. And what he's trying to do is, like, not upset the base, but also kind of call Trump out. And if you call Trump out, they don't care that you voted against the impeachment and you voted in favor of acquittal. Right? You voted for acquittal. They don't care about that. They care that you stay loyal to Trump no matter what. Trump could go on Fifth Avenue, literally kill 10 people and say, I can get away with it. And his supporters will be like, well, yeah, I don't know. He shot them. No, it was Antifa dressed up as Trump. Oh, okay. I'm not kidding. They'd actually make that argument, most likely. So now Trump released this 7-paragraph statement saying, oh, well, McConnell is the business as usual. He's got problems with China and dealings with China. Shot at his wife. And, like, he's saying, like, he never did anything, even though, McConnell rolled on Trump when on his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, on the border wall, on Obamacare, just every single thing. And he didn't really fight him. A couple of rage tweets here and there, but otherwise, he endorsed him. He helped him win. Well, he didn't really help him win because Trump's also very unpopular. But, just now Trump started this civil war in the GOP. And boy, the popcorn is tasting ever better. The nachos and the soda tasting even better than they did before. But either way, the impeachment failed. McConnell makes this argument. All I can say is, boy, McConnell tried to have his cake and eat it too. Now, he doesn't have to worry about an election for 6 years, but he damn sure probably won't even take the mantle as majority leader anymore with him going against Trump like this.